Support for Radio Friends comes from La Brunerie Financial, where they work to ensure a lifetime of financial security for people from all walks of life, from investment services to retirement plans. If you're looking for a trustworthy company that has the experience and knowledge to put your interests first, contact La Brunerie Financial, a community-based investment counseling firm since 1966. Learn more at labrunerie.com or by calling 573-449-5313. Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Monday, July 30th. I want to introduce you to a young lady who is, we've been associated together, I guess, for about 30 years or more, LOIS Long. It's good to have you here, Lois.
Thanks.
Originally, when we started visiting with you on Pepper and Friends, you were with Elder Care. Now you are a volunteer with the Alzheimer's Association. And I know this is something that is very close and dear to your heart, because I think it's fair to say each and every person listening or watching this segment at one time in their life will be touched by Alzheimer's, whether it's ourselves or someone we know and love, correct?
Yes, Paul. It's an invasive disease, I would call it, because we can look for cures, and there's a lot of research going on, but we have to live with it. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. One of my volunteer activities is to be a facilitator for a support group. I happen to live in Callaway County, but there are 4 support groups here in Boone County. And I think I've learned so much from caregivers who come to to figure out how they can cope with the stresses of being a caregiver for someone they love.
Right. Many
times, indeed, caregivers are women, and some are adult daughters. But it's a stressful kind of life to not know what the person with dementia, which is a general term. Alzheimer's is one type of dementia, but Parkinson's has a kind of memory loss associated with it. There is Lewy body dementia, there's frontal lobe dementia, there are other things that don't fit in a specific category, but I call it memory loss. And early memory loss is affecting more and more people in this day and age, and we are realizing that it may lead to Alzheimer's and some of the things that are more familiar. So it is with that in mind that the support groups help people figure out how to cope with something.
You know, I'm listening to you talk, and I realize that if you are a caregiver, at times you feel like the whole world is closing in on you. You want to help the person that you love. You want to be with that person. You want to make that person come back to who they were before they started showing the signs of dementia and Alzheimer's. And you feel like you're backed up against the wall. This is where the support group really steps in and can help a great deal. And I think people have to realize not to be ashamed to ask for help.
Right.
Sometimes the caregiver feels that they're alone and nobody else understands what they are going through. But that's not true, is it?
Well, in our family, sometimes there may be adult children that live several states away. When they come home, Dad may know them and everything may be, relatively normal. But when they leave, Dad may say, "Now, who was here today?" Mm-hmm. Because short-term memory is what is lost. And so when we work together to help people think of ideas like photo albums, to remind the person who is losing their memory of things that used to be, it will bring it back to them. Not the new things that they have they've not learned about this new baby that was just born 3 months ago. But on the other hand, I think keeping a sense of humor, if you can, is one of the things, and laughing with the person. Laugh about whatever used to be funny. If they enjoyed a certain comedian, whatever. But the caregiver can help lighten the atmosphere by being that instead of so serious.
What about music?
Yes, that is a very important, and sometimes people have a favorite kind of music, whether it's fiddle music, classical music, and having that kind of music can really bring people into a better mood because because it is familiar to them.
And it may trigger a memory that brings back some good times of the past, and you get a smile or you get a response from something.
And you let them tell their story. In other words, their reality is reality. You don't correct people with memory loss. You go along and you listen. Another good example is sometimes people forget to eat. Sit at the table with them and eat and tell them what you think about the meal.
Okay. What is the most important bit of information that you want to get across to the caregiver?
Be careful about the stress that you're under, thinking that you have to do it all, because physicians will tell caregivers if you don't get a break, you may get down. Your health is at risk when you're 24/7. You're up all night because he's up and down. And I'm using women as an example because I'm a woman. It's not always. There are men caregivers that do a marvelous job. But you have to be careful not to sacrifice your health.
And sometimes the caregiver will feel guilty if you're asking for outside help. But you shouldn't feel guilty about that because you're there most of the time. You have to keep in mind that you have to have a break also, because if you get sick, then you're no good to the person that you love to start with if you're down and out. So you got to take care of yourself along with taking care of the other person.
We call we'll use the term respite, to have someone come and stay. There are funds that support caregivers after they have paid either an agency or they have had a neighbor come and stay so they can go get groceries or whatever. Another key thing that we've seen in our group is the challenge of having someone who has been driving a car all their life.
Oh, and then you realize they shouldn't be driving.
Dangerous. They don't see any reason that they shouldn't drive, and it's a symbol of independence.
Right.
So you need to work with your doctor and others to do that. But calling the helpline, which is an 800 number 24/7, and that is 272-3900, and this will connect you to the support that may be very helpful.
Okay, so the helpline is 1-800-272-3900. You can call that number 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, right?
Yes. Thank you.
LOIS Long, thank you so much for coming by. Please come back again, okay?
You.
Tomorrow, MU alumni, Boone County Chapter Scholarship winners. Have yourself a good day. Something you'd like to hear or see, drop me an email, pepperp@missouri.edu. Bye-bye.